Okay, here we are. Just took a little wet walk in the rain. So happy Sunday in a soggy way. Yay. Hi, y'all. Thanks for coming. Here we are. We got some fun music. It'll work out really well once we get started. So if you're all feeling well, yesterday was really fun. We did a sort of a nice little sort of clearing practice to sort of prepare ourselves and put ourselves in the right energy to move. We'll do the same thing today, but we'll take a little moment first just to kind of sit together nice and tall. In your tall seat, wherever it is you are, whatever that looks, and always remember it doesn't have to look like my tall seat, right? You could be lying on your back on the floor, you could maybe be lying on your side. However it works for you. So this morning, the insight that I was given in my meditation was just allow yourself to really focus on the things that you're responsible for. Just your own, no one else's. And that came sort of right in time, though I've forgotten what it was that I was dreaming about just before that. But for whatever sort of residual stuff kind of lies that kind of floats in from your pre-conscious, subconscious, that sort of kind of ends up looming as sort of the mysterious memory, right? Was that real? Was that dreamt? Was it make-believe? Is it sort of the flutterings of whatever parts of consciousness try to invade, right? The true lived experience. In yoga, we have these kind of ways of organizing the way that we engage with what is experienced in sort of a living space or conscious space, right? And in the kleshas, and that's what we call them, they're sort of the ways in which we approach information, right? And they actually even further describe the kleshas as the way that we misinterpret that information. So to this, right, the clearing is just kind of making sure that none of the thoughts that are in your head are make-believe, right? Like sort of the imprints left behind from dream space. So we move in this sort of dream space that is sort of the misprints are the things that are untrue, right? So if anything kind of accidentally comes up in sort of the fluttering monkey mind that distract you from your focus, I less like to use the word control, but in so many ways, whatever it is that you're responsible for. So as you're just sitting here with your eyes closed, nice and tall, just take your hands together and just kind of rub them against each other. Just kind of warm up the hands. So there's this two-part here. First, we're just gonna kind of give ourselves some clearing and then give ourselves some ease, right? So practicing this just a little bit a moment to kind of just soften the thoughts, right? So wherever your mind has been sort of going into, even at this hour on a Sunday, right? Slow it down. You separate your hands a couple inches. They're still facing each other. And then you place your palms very lightly over the front of your eyes. Not a lot of pressure, just soft enough to block the light. Just enough to sort of feel that confirmation that comes down from your forehead into the orbits of your eyes and maybe even further into your jaw and your throat. And softening all the spaces in your head and all the space that we get thinking and processing information. And just be soft and easy with yourself this morning. Release that from your hands. You can open your eyes. Again, we're going to take the hands and palm on top of palm, and we're just going to slide them against each other. This is less like of a friction building, but more of like a friction stirring and energy stirring, right? And for what this is, its utility is just to clear the space to kind of keep your energy your own, right? And not to give any of it away. So sort of sustaining power yoga. Sweep one hand over the head and the other one out and away. And then you'll switch hands and the other one will be on top, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just rubbing against it in preparation, over the head, out and away. And here we are, all clear, right? Your power is your power. Let's come to our mats. Yay. Let's make sure this vision is good. So yesterday, I called it a bit of the dream practice, because I had this a picture in my mind of the practice as I sort of conceived parts of it while I was sleeping, and then hopefully it worked out for the ones that I was serving, because I had to omit some of it as soon as I started feeling like, wow, how does the body do that? And we're in a power practice right now, so we're gonna kind of give ourselves an opportunity to feel that. So your feet are gonna be just about wider than your hips, just like wide enough that you give yourself some space. You'll slide your hands down to your knees, and you're gently just gonna wag your back side to side. Right, and so in sort of the abstractness of this, right, we're not moving into a traditional practice. Anyone that practices in America probably already knows that. If you've ever taken yoga that has been more sort of from its origins, you'll find that, especially power yoga is just an interpretation and a play, right? So we're using the stuff that we're inspired by creatively, kind of moving into the body stuff that we need it for, right? So choose how deep you go in every way, right? Hands touch to the floor, and then you're gonna just widen the heels a little bit more so you can drop the head. Right? And that widening of the heels so the toes turn inward is just positioning the bones so they relate to the sort of and respond to the mobility of all those places, specifically the hips, so that we're in a good position to be mobile. Right? Inhale to a flat back. Gently, you're gonna then lean into your left foot, knee, leg. Right? And you're gonna lightly point that right foot so the right heel comes off the floor. Still the toe is touching, so you still have a feel like that you're anchored to the mat. All right, and then you're gonna sweep over to the other leg. So you're over to the right leg, right knee is bent, just soft enough that you can kind of feel your foundation shift there, and then your left heel lifts. I'm just gently pointing, my big toes touching. Sweep again over to your left, same idea this time, and then you push down to the left leg, lift from the inner right thigh. You're also lifting from the outer right glute. And then toe touch, heel down, switch over. Same idea, just kind of bringing lightness into our sweeps. Nice and soft, land, toe, heel. Sweep one more time over left, right leg lift, but then bend the knee and open the hip. So you're kind of peeling it away from where it was. You're kind of feeling that openness. You're probably a little bit more sort of standing on that left leg. And then you return, right? Toe touch, heel, sweep here to the right leg, left leg lifts from all those muscle actions, the opening, and then peeling. Right? Further, it's exploring. Feels pretty nice. Return, toe, heel center, back up to the middle, and arms up to the sky. So you're on your mat. Essentially, your feet are as wide as the mat, heart lifted, open, and then fold. Legs are long, head drops. Okay, both knees bent, that is back. So if you can kind of notice this from the side and just kind of feel, you can always kind of track with your hands. Knees are above the heels, right? So if your hips have to stay high in order to do that, then do so, right? If your hips are tight and they're pushing your heels off the floor and your knees forward, right? We just lift a little higher. So if that means making your legs straighter, then so be it, right? Hands press into the floor, gently hop back to plank pose. Okay, we're gonna let your heels go to the left and dip your left hip towards the mat. Right, not entirely landed. Okay, so you're just gonna getting a little bit of a tuck back, that left shoulder. Nice little sort of squeeze in the right obliques. Inhale up through center. Exhale, heels to the right. Same idea, this side, right hip down. Right, you might have a little bit more of a crankier side or one that's a little bit more expressive. Just And feeling it still. Sides of the neck is long, so you don't pinch your neck. Inhale back up. Again, to the left. Down. This one has a roll through center. So you're going to roll to the middle. So that kind of puts you in an up dog. And then roll to the right. Pretty nice. And then up and back. Right? So you go up, back, center. We have one more of those. Right? Inhale, forward to plank pose first. We'll go to the right first. Lower that right hip. And this time when you roll to center, you're going to roll down to a chaturanga. Right? And you're going to roll heels to the left, straighten up through the arms, right? Pick up the hips, and then press them back to down dog. Right here, right foot steps outside right hand. Okay? And then very gently, it's going to actually go back up and open to three-legged dog. Okay? Then bring that right foot forward. In between the hands, step it up to warrior three. Right, back to low lunge, and then back to three-legged dog, right? You pull the right knee forward to your left elbow, okay? Then you're gonna straighten the leg over to your left. Left arm goes up to the sky and over the ear. So fallen warrior. This is kind of cute. Then you're gonna lower right hip to the floor, then left hand. You're gonna lower your heart to face the front of the mat and chaturanga the arms. Okay, you can lift that left heel so you tuck your left toes. And now when you straighten the arms, tuck the knee in towards the face the knee. Take your regular chaturanga, right foot steps back. Cobra or up dog. Back to down dog. Yogi, left foot steps outside left hand, just for a moment, right? Kind of using that as a nice reference to lighten the wrist. Feel a little heavy in some areas. Left leg goes back, up and open. Use your exhale, left foot steps between the hands. You take a little pick up to warrior three. That's kind of a step up and step back, back to low lunge. Right? Left leg goes back, three-legged dog, and then left knee on your exhale. To right elbow. Straighten the leg and open the heart. Right arm lifts. Yay. Hand comes to the floor. Follow your exhale. Left hip goes down, so you get a little bit more of that feeling of that twist. Bend the elbows, lower the heart. Right, so there's a nice little push up here to tuck that left knee in towards the face. And then left foot steps back as you chaturanga. Up dog to the down dog. And take a little hand walk forward to the toes. Get a little bit sort of that feeling of the mat being up in front of you, which is nice. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, sit to chair. And then inhale up to stand, right knee lifts. So in the trajectory of this week, right, we've been doing a little bit of those sort of side kicks, which is kind of fun. So right here, you're gonna take the right leg out to the front. Turn your toes to the right, your butt's gonna kind of pick up, lean to the left, your right leg goes way out, 90 degrees, and then it sweeps all the way back, and toes turn down, so it wraps into the full sort of range of motion possible, right? Accessible in your hips, right? And then the heel lifts a little bit further, go a little bit deeper into the standing legs, hamstrings, and then walk your hands forward. Three-legged plank. Okay? Right here, you're going to tuck your knee in towards your face to knee. And you're going to take a three-legged chaturanga. Right? You straighten the arms, step the foot outside the hand. Okay, you lean into your right foot, and then just like we started class, step into it. It's an open hip standing split. And then the left foot steps outside left hand. Drop the hips, you're going to straddle chair. Pretty nice. And up to stand. Just reaching. Exhale, hold. Ooh. We haven't even gotten to that sort of that part that sort of really feels like sort of that strength power, but we'll get there. Just get a feeling that our space is open for what we need, right? Hot kitty. Press your hands into the floor. We're gonna hop this into a chaturanga. Right? Forward and up. Back to down dog. And hands walk back to your toes. Get back to the place of your toes. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, fold. You'll inhale to a flat back. Sit to chair on your exhale. And come up to stand on your inhale, left foot off the floor. Left knee lifts. Right, I'm just turning to the front just in case you're here for the viewing, right? And then you straighten that left leg, heels forward, toes up, and you're just gonna already start to turn, right? What muscles are responsible for this? You're gonna feel, right? Hip hikers, right glute, low back, right? You're gonna slide your heart over to the right, so the left leg really kind of chop over to the left. Toes are forward, and that rotates to the hip, through the heel, through the toes, and you get to that warrior three. Pretty sturdy, right? Heels going up, heart's going down. Find the floor with your fingertips, and then find the sky with that left foot, toes, heels. Right, yesterday we talked about the sort of blended version of pointing and flexing the foot, calling it floint. So you're flointing the foot, so working the toes, the arches of the feet, as well as kind of sort of less of that sort of absolute 90-degree ankle, but not so entirely 180 of a pointed top foot, if that makes sense. Right, walk your hands forward to the front of the mat. Right, you get three, you're gonna tuck your left knee in towards your face. And we go three-legged chaturanga. Right, straighten the arms, place that left foot outside left hand. Right, so you're getting a nice kind of muscular kind of tone into that, the push away from the floor and then the place of the foot. Right foot outside right hand. Drop the hips, feeling that space, kind of getting a little bit more supple and buoyant. Up to stand, reach, squeeze the glutes right here. So even though whatever your floor is like, right, your skin kind of grabs the floorboards, right, or carpet, and then as it squeezes in, you're gonna feel them. The feet aren't necessarily moving so much as they're activating the movement upwards, right? So we're drawing sort of up and out, see and feel. Not only does it go up towards the pelvis, but it goes up the spine and out through the eyes and out through the arms. Exhale, fold. Nice head drop. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, knees bend, hands plant. Right, we're gonna combine or add the crow pose to our vinyasa set. So right here, as you sink your heart down, plant, ground the hands, lift through the heels, the toes, the feet, ready for it, and then place it, float it, chaturanga, to up dog, and back to down dog. So coming back to the place that we started, classroom, sorry, from plank pose, take your heels to the left, right? From that, lower that left hip over towards down towards the floor. And then you can pick up that left leg, or that left hip. You're actually gonna pick up the right leg. You still have your toes pointing to your right. It's gonna be a nice little sweep now. So the left heel lifts, right knee comes forward to your left elbow. Tap touch, and then slide it back around that left leg. So you're getting a little Garudasana tuck. Then we're gonna go even further, bend the left knee, and that's where we get our little squishy pose. Left arm goes up, and that's gonna come to fallen warrior. So you just get to spread that out, you straighten the leg. Left hand comes down, right hip drops, right? So it's our sort of fallen version of a twisted triangle pose. Elbows bend, lower the chest, but keep the shoulders lifting, right? So you tuck the left toes when you come up, straighten, tuck, and then press back, open. Okay, with that open hip, right foot step outside right hand, left foot steps outside left hand, and then drop the hips. Here we go. Yay, up to stand, reach, and then exhale, fold. Nice, so you're finding that maybe the heat's starting to kind of rise, which is good. Right here in your forward bow, right, since we've had a few moments where we've been mostly on the wrist, so it's a good time when you're in a forward bow just to kind of do some little sort of the micro maintenance, right, in the wrists, do a little elbow, wrist, hand kind of rotation, little wrap session, little roll, right? So I'm just kind of playing patty cake with myself. Right, just kind of, honoring also some of those places that are our most stable places. And in yoga practice, right, in the asana, it's our hands and our feet, right? Hands plant to the floor, right? Heels lift, knees bend. You take that crow pose, your crow pose, to chaturanga, to up dog, and back to down dog. All right, we'll do second side, inhale the plank, heels go right hip dips. Okay, as the hips come back up, so does the left leg, right? So you still have heels to the right, hips open. So think about that pose that we were doing, that little sort of karate kick with the legs. You find a better name for that, right? With a little 90-degree action, working some of that sort of kind of muscles on the sort of outer capsule of that that left hip, right? And then it's a nice smooth lift to the right heel, tuck of that left knee forward, right up, right? Wrap it around. First, you get a little bit of that side body stretch as you wrap your left leg around, right? Right, and then when we go into a little squishy pose, right knee bends, that's when the right arm comes off the floor. Okay, and that's kind of fun too, because this kind of lends to the reach of the legs and kind of the bigness of the heart, beams, reach, nice and long. Hands to the floor, right hand, left hip down. Whew. Pretty nice, right? So it always feels like a recovery when you get more of your body on the floor, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to shut the whole thing down, right? So we don't want to turn into a pudding mush. So we can keep everything kind of lightly active up through the feet, the toes, your flanks, right? And just enjoying the length that comes out of that strength. Okay, elbows bend, look forward, right toes tuck. So when you come up, left knee tucks in, back up and open, and left foot steps outside left hand. So we're gonna lean into that left foot and pick up the right leg. So you get that little standing split opening, right foot outside of right hand, hip dropping. Okay, so you're in a straddle chair, which is pretty nice, right? You're gonna go over to the right and your left knee is gonna almost touch the floor, right? No big deal. Come back through center, over to the left, same idea. It's our Janet Jackson little sort of turn. Come through center, go over to the right again, same idea. Okay? And then you're actually gonna slide this back into a dancing warrior. Left knee bends, right leg straight. Come back into your Janet Jackson to the right knee and over to the middle, right? So what's the point of that? You'll see. Over to the left, I'll see too. Right? You get into your kind of low place here. So this is actually stimulating hamstrings and quads into pelvis for both legs, right? And then so the dancing warrior actually gives you sort of the response of just kind of using that engagement to find your space for you to lengthen. Come back, it's your Janet Jackson to the left knee. I hope I'm not breaking any copyright by naming it that. It's hers first, she made it. I don't know, maybe Paul Abdul did. Right, you're in the center into a straddle chair, right? Come up, heels go wider, right? And then fold. So this is a wide straddle forward bound. I turn to the side. You don't have to, but I'm doing this mostly to both be sort of a visual, but at the same time too, give the example that we're gonna take up more space a little bit right here. So this is for those hamstring stretches, and this is actually kind of quite neatly sort of a split that I don't like to teach, and I don't think we really teach it that much in yoga anyway, but what we want to practice is sort of our boundaries. So staying safe in a split, in a wide straddle, and I know a lot of people really want to feel this sort of front split a lot. So we're going to play with pointing the toes forward, right? My hands are holding the floor. You might have flat hands or up on fingertips, or maybe your hands are on blocks or something. Right, lean into the toes so you can pick up the heels, and then just take the heels wider, not the toes. So you're gonna go more sort of like you're sticking your butt out behind you, okay? So this has still got some power up the legs. You look at your quads and feel them activated, okay? So I'm at my max, which means I can still control my legs, and I don't feel like I'm out of control of sort of what could happen afterwards, right? I don't want my feet to slide out from underneath me and split what's in the middle, right? Because that's an essential part of my future. Right, as you're leaning into your hands though, right, we've got this opportunity to kind of shift even farther forward with the chest. And as you press into your hands, there's a lift here from our pelvis, our hips, our glutes, our core. We're gonna hop our feet together so we end up being in a forward bow. Does that make sense? So that's why we need to be sort of in a place where we're already still very deeply connected to our power. Lean into the hands, hop the hips up, feet together. And that's a huge relief if you really were at sort of your personal max for this day, right? So that's nice to kind of come back to center. Inhale to a flat back. All right, and exhale, sit to chair. Super cute. Inhale, up the stand, right knee lifts. And then right leg goes out to front. Right, so similar to yesterday, right, arms open wide. Very gently, you're gonna turn your heart open to the right. Left knee, bottom leg is gonna bend. Right hand finds the floor. Right knee tucks in, and now we're not touching the floor. We're just gonna go back with the leg and out forward with the left arm. Okay, right knee comes back in and out in front of you. Still, bootie's not on the floor. Right knee tucks in again. Ooh. And then you're gonna pull in and then slide it back and open. Half moon pose. And then standing split. Okay, right knee is gonna tuck in towards your face. And we have 3 little kind of charge press split up towards a playful version, edited version of a handstand, right? So there are 3 hops, right heel up, little hop in the left, right? Inhale up. Right, so the left leg only comes like a couple feet off the floor, the toes at least, and maybe even the heels straight back. So 90 degrees legs. One more time. Right, and that's kind of a nice little sort of energy charge into the heart, definitely into your senses. This is gonna hop you into chaturanga, right? Graceful or not, we'll get there. Up dog to down dog. Cute. Okay, now both feet can hop back to the front of the mat. There we are. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, sit to chair. And inhale up to stand. Left foot off the floor, left knee lifts. Left leg out in front. Same idea, so if you missed our little helicopter land yesterday, right? So arms are open wide, and they're calibrators, right? So if you've ever tried to balance on a balance beam, right? You put your arms up to your sides to help sort of spread out your center of gravity so you feel a little more kind of ease in kind of the variance, because you'll wobble in the standing leg and ankle. Right knee is bending, you're leaning back to the space behind you. Right, and so we're just practicing some core strength. You got that left hand to land, but is not on the floor. Left knee tucks, and you're just gonna push it back. So this is a lot like a standing split, but in a awkward little crinkle version. Right, left knee tucks in. Right, go back out in front of you. Little lift. Right, tuck the knee to push into the right leg. Come up, half moon pose to standing split. Left hand lands. There are 3 little sort of pushes. If you were in practice on Friday and Saturday, right, there are kind of, you did like a little donkey kick into the butt. Think of that energy that we're using to kind of center your weight over your hands, right? So the eyes also help looking between the thumbs. 3 little hops here. Left leg up, right leg hop. Right, hop again, push out through the hands. 3rd time's a charm. Land and tuck. This little tuck is going to bring you your chaturanga. Eyes forward. Nice land. Right, maybe nicer than mine. Up dog and down dog. Quite possible. All right, hands walk back to your toes. Back to the mat. So we're going to kind of put these 2 little combos together. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, sit to chair. And then inhale up to stand. Right leg lifts. Okay, right leg's out to front, so we're gonna do that little karate chop over to your right. Right, sweep it, slide it, glide it, back, warrior 3. Right, balanced. Right, a little extra lift to the chest. We'll get a little opening similar to a dancing warrior or a Natarajasana. And then heart hold. Standing split. Arms walk forward. 3-legged. Okay, Right knee comes in towards the face. Face the knee. Looks good. Wrap it around the leg. Get your Gargadasana legs to squishy left knee bend. Left arm up. Okay. Fallen warrior. Right leg straight. Left arm reaching. Left hand to the floor. Right hip drop. Right here, we're going to go chaturanga arms, and then we're going to pull the right knee in. So first, bend the elbows, go forward, tuck the left toes, lift the right hip, and then tuck the right knee. This is going back to a side plank with the right leg in tree pose, right arm up. And keeping that left side of the neck long, you're going to dip the left hip down, and then pick it back up. There are two more of those. Third one's kind of our shining sort of steed lower. And inhale, lift. Feel the sort of utility of charging that left straight leg into your right foot. One more time, lower. The right hand comes down, right big toe. So when you go up, you lift, lengthen, and open. Right leg to the sky. Okay, look forward. Right foot lands outside to the right front of the mat. Lean into the right foot, left leg up, open. And then you're actually going to cross behind, left knee lands outside right ankle. Push back into that, come back up, open hip, left foot outside left. So, right, if you're missing the gym the way I am, missing those really targeted exercises towards the glutes, that little knee tap just to kind of the variance and the mobility and the challenge outside of the foot gets you really deep in penetrating into those muscle groups. Right, straddle chair, up to stand, and forward down. All right, so trying not to put too many of the complexities of this and then and that, but you know, if you know me, if you know my practice, you know, a lot of that just kind of comes in through these sort of many things that I'm trying to squeeze into the space of time that we have. Inhale to a flat back. So don't be afraid to redo the practice if you're doing this later. Slow it, reverse it, or skip it, right? So you'll always have that power to choose. Heels up, crow pose. Okay? Crow with some breath, crow with some tone, crow with some smile, and then crow to chaturanga. Okay, up dog, whew, to down dog. Looking good. Alrighty. Feeling pretty good. So we're back in a down dog. You inhale to plank pose. You take your heel or left leg is going to lift. Three-legged dog. Open hip. Okay. Pull that knee forward. Tap it to your right elbow, and then take it to the outside of that right leg. All right, so you get that little moment, and then you squishy turn. You get that little drop back in the hips, so not entirely landing. Nice open shoulder, right? Hand back to the front of the mat. Left knee leans forward. And then you go back, you get side plank with the left foot to the inside of that right leg. Okay, get comfortable in the wrist, comfortable if you need the space. Slide that right foot a little farther back. Little dip of the hip. Pick up, a little exploration for space. Okay, dip. Number 2. Open throat, chest, eyes, space. Right, a little higher in that left knee. And then one more time, same thing. Down, grab the big toe, pick it up. There we are. Awesome. Right, we forgot our little, reach in. No, we didn't. Right, left knee bend. Sorry, left hand to the front of the mat. Let's just tuck this under so that you can get that little fallen warrior that I skipped. Right arm reaching. Okay, right hand to the floor. This is fine, catches up pretty easily. And then drop the hip. Whew. Chaturanga the arms, heel in the chest, left shoulder lifts so it doesn't sag. Left knee tucks in. Back to three-legged dog. And then this is where you place left foot outside of left hip. Step forward, right leg lifts, hip open. And then cross it, tuck it, a little tap down outside of left heel. Then pick it back up, open hip, Right foot steps outside right hand. Deep squat. Ooh, so nice. Up to stand reach. And then to a forward bow. Right, so your feet are probably approximately a little wider than your mat. Your hands can hold either calves or heels or toes or whatever gives you space to fully exhale. So give yourself the room to exhale. Just if you're like me, right, I feel like you might be, just in the sense that we've been doing these movements. So catching up with the way that we are able to be responsible for the breath, right? So keeping it flowing in and out. Whee. Okay, inhale to a flat back. Last crow. Actually, perfect timing, right? So we're in a crow enough that we have some opportunity, right, to move this a little bit. So both legs, okay, left foot back to touch the floor, right knee bends, right? So you're in Kundalini to three-legged dog. Open, step that right foot forward, actually going this one to a warrior two, to reverse warrior. Okay, here's the fun thing. So right here, this is a wide version of that. Turn over to your left, and you're gonna go for your little Janet Jackson dip of the right knee to the back, to the left, to open into a little twist. The right knee stays low, right elbow hooks outside of left knee. So this is towards the back of your mat. Just cute and fun and fun, because then we're gonna unravel that, come through center, and then dancing warrior to the right leg. Awesome. Then you're gonna fully sweep all the way, right foot back, open, and you're gonna take a wild thing. Right foot land, right? Hips lift, hearts open. And then hips land, little tap down to spring up, to come forward and tuck the knee. Three-legged chaturanga from here, no big deal. Okay, up dog, yay, to down dog, sweet. All right, so you get back to your down dog, and we're all good on that one. Awesome, look forward to your hands, hop your feet to your hands. Inhale to a flat back, and exhale, fold. I know I said last time, inhale all the way up, that was the last crow. This is the last crow, right? Because we need to get both of them in. Okay, so just as a reminder, right? And this doesn't show that you're not doing it right. I feel it too. I'm doing lots of yoga. Shake your hands out, right? Your dominant hand will probably feel most of this in whatever it is that you're doing, because you're probably powering it more into your dominant side. So give it a rest. Sweep to your left, pay attention to it, soothe the right or your left, whatever one is your dominant side. Right, so we're going crow last time here, right? So forward bow, right? You can step this with wide feet or start with narrow feet. It's kind of whatever's up to you, whatever gets you into sort of your super sweet place, right? I like wide, but I also like the narrow space. Get into it, knees, toes, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Right foot is going back, tap the floor, and then Kundalini to three-legged dog. Ooh, super nice. And you're gonna step left foot forward between your hands for warrior two. Your warrior two tips back to a reverse warrior. Right, not done this one today. Right, inhale, come up, and you're actually gonna turn your Janet Jackson lunge to a twist to hook left elbows. Right, a little bit of attitude, a little escapade. Okay, you unravel that, they come up, and you go back to left knee for a little dancing warrior. That's fun, right? You come back to your mat, to your lunge, so that you can sweep back to a three-legged dog that opens and places you so well into your full expression of the heart, into your wild thing, right? You're the wild thing, right? Tap down, little right hip, left hand to the mat, come forward to tuck. Okay, three-legged chaturanga to up dog. Awesome. Back to down dog, right? Was that enough? I don't know. Alrighty, come forward. Let's say hop your feet to your hands. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Woo! And inhale to a flat back, right? Sit to chair pose. So our helicopter arms, right? Go to helicopter arms and lift the toes, right? So you're turning over to the right shoulder, heels lift. Then heels go back to the center, regular chair. Heels come up, helicopter, turn to the left. Heels to the floor, regular chair. Heels up, helicopter to the right, touch the floor, and then you just kick that right foot forward to land, to come up, to lean forward, to get back up into the heels, and then back to the heels, chair. One more time, heels go up, little helicopter to the left hand grab, left leg shoot out. So this is massive for the core and the obliques, right? Left foot come back in, then you rock up off the heels, whoa, you come back to the middle, and heels down, right? Arms up to the sky, reach, and then exhale to fold over straight legs. Okay, this one's gonna kind of have a quick and easy combo. Inhale to a flat back, and your exhale very gently just gonna sweep that right foot back, sweep it forward, catch yourself to land with the right hand. Right, come back up, same idea, sweep heel back, push it up to the sky. Okay, foot lands. Last time we'll be on the floor. Inhale to a flat back. As you sit to chair, left foot goes forward, left hand lands. You tap the floor. This time it actually keeps you on the floor to take low boat. Right? Inhale, come up. And we're gonna helicopter your arms to the right. Okay, so your high boat with a nice turn twist. And then we're gonna center low boat. Arms over the head or straight forward. You choose. Up, turn over to your left. Right, stabilize, find it. Wait for it. Center, low, arms over the head. All right, elbows and knees come to touch. And stretch them out again. All right, you're going to take your helicopter arms, left arm over the head, right hand back towards your right heel. This is one of my favorite lately. Back to the center, arms over the head. Over to the left. Nice exhale, left hand towards that left ankle, right arm, right? It definitely feels like a challenge. That's what we show up for, right? Up, and then take the heels down, right? Finding that you're able to find your seat, comfortable, arms up to the sky, wide open, and then a Paschimottanasana for our sort of return to ease, to comfort, to exhaling to your ground, right? So, however that looks. Right, inhale, upright. Right, a little warning, because I kind of viewed this wild video this morning where a person was showing their journey to doing splits or doing a forward bow, such as this one, or with wide legs. And they were having like a friend or significant other sit on them to help force, to assist in their heart going down, their forward bow. Please don't do that. I want this on record. I do not recommend that. Unless you like to go through rehab and try to fix some broken, torn parts of your body that may never heal the same. So remember that, right? If your body's not there yet, it's not yours, especially if it's feet away. Right knee bends here, right here. So we're gonna take the right knee wide to the right. So this is just a little Janu Shirshasana and a seat. It's very open and very easy. We're actually going to turn over your left shoulder, though, with the right knee kind of working its own energy out to the right. Okay? Then you're going to turn over your right shoulder. That's a little bit cuter. Right knee is still a little 90 degrees out to the right. A little turn. You're mostly sitting in your right hip. And then as that turn stays, you keep your twist. You pick up that right knee. You hook the left elbow. And we're going to take this even further. Your left arm is going to reach towards your right foot, and you're either grabbing toe or heel, however that works to get you up there. Okay? And that finisher is the back arm. And then also then, the left leg, wow, might lift. So the sort of counterbalance of the right arm is helping you. And this is all about sort of humorous core work. Heel goes down, right? You come back through center, And then you get a little praise of that right leg having a good sense of humor, right? The lifted leg, thank you, honey. You might kiss your knee, right? Right knee bends. I'm gonna turn. So right leg straightens, now left knee bends. Here we are, no big deal. Left knee goes to your left. I'm at an angle, I changed my position on that just in case it threw you off a little bit. Turn over the right shoulder. So this is kind of nice, having just come out of the previous side. Now this twist is makes more sense. You see how quickly the body kind of reshapes and wants to just kind of go back to where it was, because we've done tons of twists. We've done lots of action here, but if you notice that seated twist on the first side didn't necessarily kind of come off as if we've been doing this for a while, right? So turn over that left shoulder, right? So now you're over in the left. You probably feel a little bit more weight shift into that left leg, which is fine, but remember, you've got the whole right leg that's still here for you. As you're twisting here, then that knee comes up, you're still in the twist. Right, and then from that, so many times, right, so many people, yes or no, you could hook that right arm. Okay, and then right hand reach towards that left foot. You're either able to pick up that foot, toes, to pick up that leg, reach. Right, so we'll get more centered on our mat. And it's left arm. Feel free to stay here, right? The heel that's on the floor still is so assisting the balance and the sort of utility of this. But you can pick up that heel, even if it's a half an inch, and just experiment with being a little unsteady in the unknown. You still have everything you need. You're not too far away. Remember what I said? I've said this so many times in the past, right? It's part of this is the failing, right? So from falling from this one, you're actually gaining a sense of humor. It's an ego cleanse, and as well as a really good exercise for your abdominal muscles for correcting. Right heel comes back, we'll just let that go. Come back, left leg honoring, right? Maybe your hamstrings, noticing the work we've been doing on opening them up, lengthening, right? Little kiss, you like it, right? Okay, both heels come in, get a little cannonball, light toes, low boat, and then release to the floor. Okay, knees bend, feet land, arms stay over the head for the moment, hips lift. Right, so it's a little shoulder shrug down, not up, so the neck stays long. Just stay pointed forward, and there's a nice sort of glute squeeze here. We're gonna tap down, and yogi's choice, you're either gonna take your arms towards your legs, so when you come back up, you can take them underneath for a bridge, right? If your arms are over the head still and you wanna go full wheel, now you bend the elbows, plant the hands, so now when the hips go up, you take your journey for where your calling is, right? And you go for it. Okay? Left foot off the floor for either shape. And then just return. Right foot. And then return. And then balance. Bend your knees. Just stick the butt out behind you. And then scoop the butt. Squeeze the glutes a little more hard. One, tuck of the chin, land on the shoulders, land of the hips, land of the hips. Yeah, might be a destination, right? Windshield wiper, the knees, land of the hips. Like Planet of the Apes, land of the hips. Right? I'm just kind of perseverating and going into a new world. The windshield wiper is just a really nice practice for the utility of really sort of being in the mobility of the hips and enjoying. This can be a nice therapy for back, low back, core, midsection, low back, just even your energy, right? Legs march out so they're wide, maybe wider than the feet, the mat. Arms over the head, nice long away from the feet, right? Take a big inhale. I'm just going to put the whole body into action. And then turn it all off on the exhale. We're going to do 2 more of those. Just a progressive act and release, right? Inhale. You can even open the eyes, they go bright, the face, the fingers, the toes, the arches of the feet and hands. And then exhale, let the whole thing go. Right? It's the art of letting go, right? So it's a practice. One more time. Big, bright, open, big power pose, big actions, big engagements, and then let the whole thing go. Soft. Take a moment just to savor the softness for a second. You'll carefully roll over to your side so that you feel safe, easy, and comfortable. And then however you make your way up to your tall seat. Ooh. Tall seat. Nice long posture, nice soft eyes. Let your hands come together to your heart, and honoring, right, the power that you keep and that is your own, that is not given away, that is not weakening you, that is only showing you more and more how well you've really created a great practice for yourself. The more we practice what it is that's meaningful to us, right, the more connected to who we are, what we're doing, right? Down to your heart, to all hearts. Namaste. Yay. Tomorrow, 6:30, right? Power Yoga. 1.5 hour. It'll be here live. Thanks for coming. Stay cute. Talk soon. Happy holidays. And all of the above. Yay. Thanks for coming.